Welcome to another Sun City Sports Special. Media Day at the 47th RBC Heritage Golf Tournament presented by Boeing. Recorded February 23, 2015 at the Sea Pines Conference Center at Harbour Town Golf Links, Hilton Head Island. Leading up to the South Carolina's only PGA Tour event, April 14th to 19th.
Welcome to Media Day for the 47th Annual RBC Heritage presented by Boeing. I know I speak for everyone here when I say I cannot wait for the opening ceremonies to kick off Plaid Nation. Plaid Nation continues to be the spirit that makes the RBC Heritage the most unique stop on the PGA Tour. And we have a lot to look forward to at the RBC Heritage this year, which Steve Wilmot and his fearless team will be letting us know about pretty soon. I want to thank you, all of our special Low Country media people. On behalf of the Heritage Classic Foundation, we truly appreciate your coverage and support, and we look forward to another exciting tournament. And now I'd like to introduce my partner in plaid, the tournament director, Mr. Steve Wilmot.
Thank you, Willie. I appreciate you all joining us. This is truly an exciting time in this community and for golf in general, but certainly the state of South Carolina. I was sitting yesterday making some notes, watching Northern Trust, watching them hold umbrellas, and what it all came back to was not really about weather, but it was about community. It was really about the rallying cry of this tournament and what it's all about. And you'll see that throughout today. I think you'll see and feel the sense of the community, the sense that I certainly have, that the staff has, how honored and proud we are to be associated with this tournament, thanks to like RBC and Boeing, but all our secondary sponsors as well, giving us an opportunity to put on a showcase event in this incredible community, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, but also showcasing golf throughout the state of South Carolina and throughout the world. But it comes back to community again. But so with that, I truly appreciate you all being here again today. It looks like we're going to have a great day. You can see some exciting things that are happening here, not just here in Sea Pines, but throughout the community. And Steve Burwell will certainly be talking about that, as well as our mayor. But just a couple things too. A personal thanks. You know, the 47th RBC Heritage presented by Boeing, but it's also my 29th tournament. I continue to learn each and every day. I'll learn from today as well, and as they've said over the years too, if the day you stop learning is the day you get out of the business, and I hope to be around, not necessarily another 29 years, but I certainly like to continue and be able to be a part of this great tradition. I'd also like to thank, obviously, the Heritage Classic Foundation, the leadership of Simon Fraser, and if all the trustees could stand up, I'd greatly appreciate it. You all, you all do need to know this is not a week out of the year. Certainly the staff and the foundation puts on this event, and as I've said before, it's 53 weeks out of the year, if not 13 months out of the year, what we do and what we try to do, and not just for this community, but for golf and South Carolina. It is so important, and we couldn't do without the support of certainly the media, and that's what you're all here today to help support the efforts of the foundation. But thank you, Simon, and as well as all the trustees. I also like to, unfortunately, the gentleman I was going to speak on a little bit today is Ray Angel, who's our volunteer chairman. This will be his last day. Unfortunately, he will be here tonight, but he won't be able to make it. But we have announced a new volunteer general chairman moving forward for next year after this year's event, and it's Mike Manasotis. Mike, thank you, and we're gonna ride the wave of Ray Angel and all the hard work he's put forth with all our volunteers, and Mike will be stepping into the position after this tournament. We're excited about that opportunity. So, but moving into the program, I'll certainly touch on a few other things as we go on, but I'd like to, at this time, as tradition has it, we each year we recognize one of our trustees to be the tournament chairman for the year, and this gentleman we've had the pleasure of working with for many years. He's a lawyer by day, a golf enthusiast by day, but Terry Finger is the tournament chairman this year. Terry's very involved in junior golf, is the local AJGA representative here for junior golf in this community. Also received, and I'm sorry, the award for the AJGA, the Digger Smith Award, which is the highest honor in junior golf that the AJGA gives out, and Terry had the pleasure of course, he worked hard for it here a couple of years ago to receive that. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce our tournament chairman for this year, Terry Finger.
Steve and Simon, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this this year. I thank you now because I'm not sure what I'll think at the end of our event. Thank you all for being here. Media is so important for our brand, for our town, for our state. I can remember back in either 73 or 74, I was a student in upstate New York watching the tournament, a little college called St. Lawrence University. It was probably about 8 degrees. I don't know whether it was above or below zero, but I was watching the tournament on TV, and they did a little tiny vignette, I guess I don't know what you call it, about the pot bunker on 14. And I said, that is the wildest thing I had ever seen. I grew up at the east end of Long Island, some pretty good golf, a little town called Southampton with Shinnecock Hills, National, Maidstone. I always took them for granted as a kid. But every time I play Harbour Town, I do not take it for granted. And I love days like this when the media is here because you help us get our message out. Speaking of messages, Angela has asked me to just talk very briefly about a new program that we instituted about 2 months ago. Angela, is that right? There are 3 or 4 people here in the room who do not have any tartan on, who do not have a Willie on, or do not have anything that says RBC Heritage presented by Boeing. You can solve that problem now by going to williewear.com. And we launched it a while ago, and we are very pleased with the way it's working so far. You can logo just Willie. You can get a RBC or Boeing, put on any kind of wear you want, everything from golf shirts to pajamas, I believe. Is that right, Angela? Yes. And everything in between. Even swimwear. A portion of all the proceeds go to our foundation, which further supports our charitable endeavors. We are very proud that since 1987 we have been able to contribute a little over $28 million to charities both here and statewide. I'm also happy to say that over the last couple of years, with Simon's guidance and leadership, we have started to take a much more statewide view towards our charitable endeavors, not only on the educational side, but on any type of 501c3s that we think enhances the lives of people in their community. So thank you. I look forward to a great tournament this year. Steve and Simon, thank you very much.
Terry has been down here so long, he's picked up that southern drawl, as you can test. But Terry, look forward to truly working with yourself more so this year. Terry also sits on a couple different committees, on the executive committee, but also on the Pro-Am committee as well, which prides themselves in for our amateurs, certainly giving them a special experience as well. But this time, obviously, we couldn't do it without some sponsors, and certainly our title sponsor is in town, Jessica Tan, who's the RBC Senior Manager of Brand Marketing. Again, we're leading into, along with Boeing, our fourth year of 5 years. And but Jessica, if you can come up and say a few words, that'd be great.
Can take a big step there. Anyways, thanks, Steve. On behalf of our 78,000 employees around the world, we're really thrilled to be celebrating the 4th year as title sponsor of the RBC Heritage presented by Boeing. This is truly a remarkable event, and when we talk about our family and this being a cornerstone within our golf program, it truly is, along with the Canadian Open. We're really proud this year. We actually grew our RBC family We have 13 golfers as part of Team RBC this year. We signed on 3 new emerging Canadian professionals who join quite an accomplished group, including 4 past heritage champions. We're also, you know, it goes without saying when you talk about the community in Hilton Head, it's a true testament from a philanthropic standpoint, what you guys do here. It really is, you know, Simon, to your credit, and to the board, it really is incredible, and the efforts and commitment of Steve, your team here. This event, you guys truly make it memorable, and I think it's with the joint effort between RBC and Boeing, Jack, nice to see you, that we really make this memorable. Last year we were able to launch RBC Golf for Kids, which was a bit of a social media program that had a pretty famous selfie with our golfers, and this year we're going to be unveiling a new fan activation concept, so stay tuned for more details on that one. But in any event, hopefully the weather's better in April. We can keep the streak going. It hasn't been so bad, and we're going to be embracing Plaid Nation along with everyone else.
Also, I'd like to introduce a great friend of not just the tournaments, truly to South Carolina, and I'm sorry to say that he'll be retiring from Boeing in May, but he is going to get through the tournament. But Boeing South Carolina, their Vice President and General Manager, Jack Jones.
So a couple of things. Thrilled to be here. It is our 4th year, and we know it's going well with the Heritage. Boeing really enjoys the Heritage, and let me tell you why. When we first started 4 years ago, the very first year, essentially the only people we could get to come to the Heritage, just because there was no association affiliation, was my team, some suppliers locally, and some folks out of South Carolina. We had 1 customer show up, airline customer. And that's really what we like using this for, because you know we have a Monday Pro-Am and a Wednesday Pro-Am. Last year we had 7 customers, and that's a big number, and they were asking to come. This year we're going to have more than 7, and they are asking to come to this event. Now what's really special about that, they're international carriers. These are the Atlas Airlines, Gol Airline is one of the largest in Brazil, South America. Of course, United Atlas, big cargo carrier. We have many of the Asian customers that are now asking to come. Norwegian Air, one of the biggest European customers. And what's really great is they don't just go back and say, I had a great time golfing. They go back and said, I had a great time golfing in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And they're starting to talk to their in-country folks. And it's really been great exposure, I think, not only for Boeing South Carolina, because they're now taking airplanes from us. In fact, we delivered several airplanes last year, more than what we planned. But because they're talking about how much fun they're having here. And that's really what the Heritage is all about. So we're excited about that. The other reason I know it's really going well is because, as I mentioned, 4 years ago, it was essentially myself and my executive team. And last year, our chairman and CEO, Jim McNerney, said, I'm going to the Heritage. Now, when the chairman and CEO comes, you know he just wants to have a good time. Yeah. So that's what he did. He had a good time, and because the customers were here. So it's really starting to take hold. And it's not just Jim. Jim, I believe, is coming back again this year. In fact, he marked it on his calendar. My boss, Ray Connor, I think he's going to be here. So it's really, really going well. So I'd just like to thank, again, Jessica, RBC, and the Heritage. You made it a destination activity for the Boeing company, and that's not easy to do when you're talking about major airlines all around the world. So great effort there. One of the reasons we are really pleased to associate ourselves with something like the Heritage event is, Jessica mentioned it, the Heritage gives back to the community. Boeing is very, very big giving back to the community, and as I understand it, $2 million last year from the Heritage to the South Carolina and Georgia charitable organizations. So Simon, thank you, and thanks to the community, because we're finding out that's a big deal here. And then finally, look forward to the event. It's going to be fun. We're excited because this year, the Heritage is going to call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Boeing Volunteer Day. So every day, 50 of the Boeing volunteers will be out there in their team wear. So say hi, because they just love coming here. And then finally, more to come. I've been asked by a couple people Jack, are we going to have a flyover this year? So I'll be talking to Simon and Steve here in a little bit about whether we're going to have a flyover. I'm not going to tell you right now. So thank you. And when you talk about we're making them Southern, I made the mistake about 3 months after I got here. I was talking to a crowd of about 1,500 people. And at the end, I said, well, I tried to say you all or y'all or something like that. I think I said you all, and all 1,500 just shook their head and said, don't try, just don't try. So I'm not going to say it. I'll just say thank you and have a good day.
Again, with that, I'd like to introduce our fairly new mayor. Been on a couple months now, but Mayor David Bennett.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Heritage Island. No, I know it's early on a Monday, and I did not misspeak. At this teeing off of the 47th annual RBC Heritage presented by Boeing, Hilton Head Island becomes Heritage Island. And I, on behalf of our entire community, welcome you to Media Day. I'd like for you to please enjoy both your time on the impeccable Harbour Town Golf Links and the camaraderie of this remarkable group. I'd like for you to feast your eyes on the sheer natural beauty of our island home. Then go file your stories. The heritage is both extraordinarily significant and symbolic to our region. I'm here today to give recognition where recognition is due. First, to those who make this event happen. Then to this unique island setting. And finally to the contest itself. I'd like to thank the army of enthusiastic volunteers and contributors, more than 1,200 of them, working on some 18 different committees, which when you think about it, is quite remarkable. And they do just about everything, from serving as marshals and couriers to administration and childcare. I'd like to thank Steve Wilmot for his hard, fine work. I'd like to thank the rest of the Heritage Board for their commitment to this event and our community. I appreciate that. I'd like to thank the Sea Pines Resort and the hospitable people of Sea Pines Plantation, the players and their families, the spectators, and of course, I'd like to thank our distinguished sponsors. I very much appreciate you all. So in closing, I would ask that you please continue to describe our Heritage Island to your audiences. I, for one, am distinctly honored to be a part of this tournament, to be here today. So thank you, Simon, for asking me. This tournament is made so unique by its participants, by its location, and by the event's impact. I hope to meet each of you personally. I have other meetings today, and therefore I'm not going to be able to showcase my 15 handicap talent for you. But I do look forward to hearing you speak of your Monday adventures. All the best. Get them long and straight.
David, Mayor, since this is your first media day, 15 handicaps pretty good around here. There's something, as I mentioned again, about community. There is a true excitement, a renaissance that's happening here that we all have the opportunity to benefit from. What Sea Pines is doing has been tremendous for the Westin. What the Westin has done has been tremendous for the Omni, and the Omni for the Sonesta, and the Sonesta for the mall. I can go on and on and on. The clubhouse at Long Cove, some of these other projects that are happening here. So it truly is an exciting time, but it's also an exciting time for our sponsors as well. This gives us an opportunity. You can see the commitment that this community is making to this event, how important this tournament is to this community, but obviously to thanking our sponsors as well. But and with that, I mean, a part of this is even going to, a big part of this community too is, you know, Lisa Sulk, the mayor of Bluffton, is, you know, I've had the opportunity, I now get my haircuts there starting January of this year over in Bluffton, down on Calhoun Street. But I joke with the mayor about this, but they are very much a part of this this event as well, and this community effort. And again, I appreciate all that's being put forth over there. But one thing we're trying to do too is, again, one thing we're going to talk about here is with this, in making this community too, one thing I talk about tickets, but also about from the Pro-Am side. Our Pro-Ams, for the first time in a long time, are both sold out Monday and Wednesday. A great story, great support. So what we are going to do here is in somewhat bridging the gap between the communities, knowing what we have here, what is here, what event we have here. We are today going to further discuss or announce, with further information coming, that we are doing a secondary Pro-Am on Wednesday of the tournament at the Westin at Savannah Harbor. A few things to talk about, obviously, is, again, it gets into community. We are moving all general spectators outside of the resort, and they're going to be parking at the Coastal Discovery Museum at Honeyhorn. It won't be perfect, but we know it's going to be a lot better, and there's going to be a lot of time and effort that will continue to be put forth in securing the lots within Sea Pines, but also making this transportation effortless as possible and a great experience for our spectators. And Toby, I appreciate your take on this. Toby is the Director of Security and Safety for CSA here, and we appreciate the continuing many meetings we've had and the ones that we will continue to have as well. But there are certainly discussions we can have about that, and the message needs to be told to our spectators as well as you can, to let them know that about this parking change. Another little change this year too, it's not that big of a change, but for some operational logistics reasons, we are going to move opening ceremonies from noon to 11 o'clock on Monday. It's just a change that's going to happen. We've had it at noon for years, but we're going to move it up to 11 o'clock to help out with some things. We are, obviously that day is a busy day for a lot of reasons with the Pro-Am and players registering and things as well, but we'll be moving that up to 11 o'clock. But one thing that is going to be truly important this year is parking. We talk about will call. The thing that works against us a little bit sometimes is the history. That is great, the history, the tradition, but everyone for the last 46 years has been accustomed to parking in Sea Pines, picking up in Sea Pines, doing all these things. And for the sake of you all helping assist us and helping you all too, and spreading the message of the parking, as well as will call. Like we said, it's not going to be perfect this year, but there's been many hours, many different meetings of how we're going to address it and how we're going to make it better. It will be better, because we do want to make it a great experience. And for those coming in for a day to visit this great tournament, this great community, we want them to know that the access and coming through from whether it be Savannah or Charleston and things too, coming through Bluffton, coming down 278, you know, coming into the parking, coming down here to into the golf course and experience first-class, world-class golf is extremely important. And we'll tweak it next year. I'm sure we will, because we're going to be learning from it this year.
Following today's Media Day presentation, we had the opportunity of speaking with some of the tournament's organizers and guests. First, Lisa Sulka, Mayor of the town of Bluffton. Lisa, how does the Heritage Golf Tournament impact on the local Bluffton economy?
The RBC Heritage of Golf presented by Boeing is so important to our town. We neighbor Hilton Head Island, but we have so many volunteers that come from Sun City and the areas around Bluffton. The exciting thing about the Heritage and what it gives back to our town are the many, many scholarships that are presented in March to our rising seniors who are going on to college. Also, they do so much work with our nonprofits, Boys and Girls Club, Bluffton Self-Help, Backpack Buddies, you just name it, and the many nonprofits in Bluffton are helped by the Heritage. Finally, it's just the exciting avenue of entertainment for our locals. People who come to the Heritage travel into town, they stay at, they'll have lunch on Calhoun Street, or they may go to Tanger Outlets or Buckwalter Place. It's just a win-win for our town, and we are lucky to be neighbors of Hilton Head Island and to benefit from this tournament.
Thanks, Lisa. We next spoke with Mike Manitosis, next year's incoming General Chairman of Volunteers. Mike, what is your take on the role of the local community volunteers on the success of the tournament?
I'd just like to thank everyone at Sun City for volunteering for the Heritage Tournament. The tournament would not work without the volunteers from the Sun City community. That segment of our volunteerism has grown tremendously over the past couple of years, and the tournament really would not work without their participation. We're very fortunate to have them in our community. We're even more fortunate for them to getting involved in the operations of our tournament. We look forward to a long-term relationship, a growing relationship, and their help is much needed.
Our next stop was a chat with Steve Wilmont, longtime tournament director, with his view on the local connection to this major national event.
You know, as I talk about community and I talk about team effort, Sun City has been a huge part of that. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, yesteryear, you know, the volunteers were only with those volunteers that lived in Sea Pines. And this goes back many years ago, but we have a huge contingent of your residents out there that support our event in many different aspects, as well as some chairmen and some redcoats as well. And again, it's a community event. We all benefit from it. Your residents as well as residents in this community have their charities of choice and like to support, and that's something the foundation tries to do, is support as many charities as we can in many different ways. So in some form or fashion, the Heritage Classic Foundation and the RBC Heritage is touching, you know, Beaufort County in a way that a lot of people don't realize.
Thanks, Steve. Now, no visit to Media Day would be complete without a chat with Sir Willie Ennis, iconic spokesman and goodwill ambassador of the RBC Heritage Tournament presented by Boeing. Sir Willie, the Heritage Classic Foundation, the non-profit general sponsor of the tournament, distributes millions of dollars to charitable organizations that enhance the quality of life for our citizens. Sir Willie, what is your role in the Low Country community to support the work of the foundation?
Well, Sir William Ennis here, and I want to tell you we're really happy to be with you here in Sun City. We just want to let you know a little bit about the Heritage Golf Tournament. The RBC Heritage presented by Boeing is a tournament, but it gives back to the community. Not only do we have a very large economic impact into Beaufort County, the state of South Carolina and around, but we also deal with charitable organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club, which I'll be visiting tomorrow. And we'll be having a great time with all the young ones. And we also have a great time going to other charities in the community as well. But we have given back so much to our community, and we love doing that. And that's what the RBC Heritage presented by Boeing is all about.
This has been another Sun City Sports Special. Media Day at the 47th Annual RBC Heritage Golf Tournament presented by Boeing. Thanks to all the Sun City volunteers who actively participate in this tournament, April 13th to 19th at the Harbour Town Golf Links.